today's project, I am going to attempt to make another bag. Now, this was my first bag. This, I think you can call it a tote, which has been featured in my upcycled show and tell video, along with some photographs. And my second bag is this one, which has its own video as well. This is my third bag, and I made a short on it because I wasn't sure if y'all care to see another version of that. This one's a purse kind of strap length, and this one is a crossbody. It's a double-sided poppet doll. This one came with a zipper. Here's the other side. And I made it out of a pair of Levi's. That's why it's got its Levi's tags on it. Now, on the strap, I used the waistband of the pants, right? So these are the belt loops that I trimmed down and just kept them on there. I made little poppet keychains for them. And then I made these little keychains. Well, I enlisted my sister to help me with those. She's the one who constructed them. She put the little shells on and the little rose quartz beads. Why not? Rose quartz, self-love. So I'm very proud of it and I love it. So today I just had an idea. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I've told you already that, I'm sorry, it's wintering in my house and the heat is not currently working. So I got my winter glasses on. They're very warm actually. And my oversized, let me tell you what size this thing is. It's a 5XL tall, okay? So it's like wearing a Snuggie, okay? Like your dad's Snuggie. And I just put a bunch of patchwork on it. And I love it. I hope you guys like oversized things like I do. It feels very good. So anyhow, this next, it's a bag, okay? It's a purse that I'm working on. It's just an idea that I had. I don't know if I can construct it, but I'm going to give it a shot. And this is all for you to get inspired by. I've never made any of these things. It all just originated from a thought. And I'm sure you have those all the time too. And if you just give it some patience and a little bit of give a damn, I'm pretty sure you can execute really great creations. And if you like my creations and my aesthetic or want to support an artist, you can do that also. So yeah, I'm going to try to make this bag, and it's inspired by my little poppet charms, like this one here. I'm going to make a bunch of these little poppets and hopefully cover the bag in them. Okay? Okay, great. So let me get you on the other side of my work table. If you saw my studio tour, you know what I mean. So let me jump over there and start working on things. Okay, I always work with what I have. And this is what I have. I had this piece of heavyweight interfacing. It doesn't have any glue on it. It's just this heavy, almost felt like stuff. I'm not exactly sure the technical name of it. It could be heavyweight interfacing, just without any kind of glue, right? And I took some pictures of me that I cut out, right? Some pieces. This is 23 inches long, 6 inches wide. So, and obviously this is the fabric that I'm working with, so I covered it in it. The base of the bag, I'm going for the shape. You know, I was thinking kind of like a bucket style bag. So this is why this shape. Now, at its widest point, it comes to 6.5 inches, and lengthwise, it's about 8 inches, okay? So now I'm going to cover this base in the blue fabric, right? So it's in here. I'm going to stitch the perimeter, trim it off. somehow attach it to the bottom, okay? So now I honestly don't know how to work with this material. I don't have instructions. I don't remember what it's called. But I have it. I'm going to work with it and I'll do what I can. So I'm just going to shove the base in here to form it, right? Just to kind of show you the shape I'm going for, right? And I like a very raw, fringy, handmade aesthetic, okay? You're going to know somebody made all my things by hand. That's just what I like, okay? So, and lucky for me, right? Because I can execute that. So, this is what I'm going for. And I need to make my little poppet charms. I've made a couple and I'll show you how it is that I made them. But here's what they are looking like. And the backs of them. And I'm going to try to, sew them onto this. I don't know how this is going to come together, but I have high hopes. I didn't know how any of the other ones were going to come together, but they did. So right now what I'm going to do is I've already sewn the fabric on one side and both ends. And I feel like I just want to run more stitching vertically, spaced out somewhat equally until this thing is covered in rows of thread. I feel like it adds stability to it and attaching the fabric so it's not floating around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Then I'm going to cover this template in this fabric, cut that out, and then I will go ahead and attach my little dolls to this. And I will also show you how I made that. Okay? Okay. I decided to go with a spiral stitch for the base of my bag, and I'm glad I did. I pressed out both pieces and moved on. I held on to this packaging that my sheets came in, and I thought it might be useful, whether it's fabric or it's drawstring. And in this case, I'm going to use the drawstring for my closure. And I'm just going to cut a identical length piece of fabric to sew along the length of the body of my bag. And that's going to be what covers the top of my bag so it can come closed. So I'm just going to pin the rope in place here, and then I'll just sew a straight line. And once that's done, I'll just sew it directly onto the body of the bag, which is just going to be a straight stitch. Now that the top of my bag is attached and pressed, now I have to start attaching all of the little dolls. And I'm just tacking them on their head, each of their hands and feet. I'm not even going to try to sew anywhere near their little bodies. I'm just going to tack them down at those 5 points. All in all, I was able to fit 26 dolls onto this bag. And I have this very interesting book. It's a book of angel numbers, and I just decided to look up what angel number 26 means in this book. And it says, "Have faith that all your earthly needs are met, now and in the future. Give any material concerns to spirit and follow the divine guidance that compels you to take action." To make a poppet charm, we're going to use a stencil or a template, one I just drew out. I'm going to select a fabric, trace it onto the fabric, cut out 2 of these to make a poppet, a stencil, template, for a heart, very tiny. We're going to trace it onto the fabric, get it cut out, and sew the little heart onto, I just do it on one side of the poppet. You can do it on both sides. I only have currently put it on one side, but you can go ahead and put it on both sides if you like. We're going to put both pieces together. We're going to sew them around. Go ahead and decide ahead of time where it is that you're going to not sew so that you can stuff the stuffing inside. So for me, I think I'm just going to leave the top of the head unsewn so that I can get in there and stuff the stuffing. And then I'll go ahead and show you that. And then we'll close it up and it'll be done. I want to make sure I get stuffing into the legs. So I'll focus in on those, work my way up to the arms, and then I'll focus on the midsection. Okay, I'm happy with how stuffed it is. It's very plump. So now I'm going to go ahead and close the opening here. I've got all of the poppet charms sewn on, along with the little top that might serve as that is going to serve as a closure, a drawstring closure. So very happy with this so far. Now I'm thinking about taking the waistband off of this scrap denim to make a little handle for the bucket bag, right? So I think I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot. I'm going to cut across the belt loops, right? So like that. But I think I'm just going to keep them on and stitch them onto the waistband. That way charms and keychains can be hung off of them. I quite like that idea. And I'm just going to cut right up to the waistband because it's already stitched up for me. Okay, so that's one half. I could do it this way. And I'm just going to take off the second or the other half. All right, here are the two pieces. All right, here's a one handle version. Happy with that. And a two handle version. It feels, okay, so if I see it's kind of tilting with one. If I put two, it's more, I'm not sure, level? I think I'm going to go with two straps. I think that just feels more secure than the one. So I'll do that. First, I'm going to secure the belt loops, and then I'm going to secure the straps. I've got the handles on, okay? Now I just have to sew up the back. I'm sewing the bag inside out several times for durability. And I'm hoping that by doing this, that when I turn it right side out, it will give me a clean seam line. Okay, now I'm going to cut this off. Now I have to figure out this drawstring situation here. So I think I'm just going to sew straight up these seams here, but I have to change the needle because this heavier weight needle bunches this thin fabric in my feed dogs. So I have to change the needle. That's why I didn't just include it. I just didn't just include it and sew straight up. You know, that would have been quicker, but I have to change my needle out to a lighter weight fabric needle, and I will sew straight up, and that should do it. girl. I changed the needle and I didn't thread it. Struggle bus. I'm going to go through again a couple times because I can only go in this direction. What? Yeah, this is easier. And then I'll trim off the excess. But I want to go over it a few times here. So I'm going to have to sew the bottom on by hand. And that's fine, but everything else was machine done, and I cannot get that in there. I can't. I have not been able to figure that out. So I'll just do it by hand, which is no big deal. It's no big deal. So I finished stitching the bottom onto the purse. It honestly didn't take that long. Now I'm just gonna, I don't know if you could see, trim off some excess here. What's next is the magic trick of forcing this right side out. It's pretty stiff. But I'm trusting that because there's no like cardboard in here that I can. So we'll see here shortly. All right. Pretty happy with that. I was able to hand stitch the seam down as well. Very happy with how it came out. Now, let me tilt the camera down so you could get a good look at what I'm doing, because I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know if I showed you, but sewing this up worked out well. This worked out well. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's just fabric. It worked. Drawstring works. Oh my gosh, this is it, guys. Now I like to style my inventions up just to see, you know, what they would look like out in the world with clothing on, and I hope that's something you guys care to see. If not, let me know, then I'll stop doing that. But this is the little bucket idea that I had. And look, the base is still oval, and it looks really good. I mean, if you just kind of walk yourself through steps, I mean, you can make it happen. So yeah, I left these little belt loops to maybe be able to hang some further charms on them. So this is pretty much it. What's next is how I would wear this out, how I would style it up. So yeah, I mean, wow. I think it looks really good. I mean, you saw it before I flipped it inside out. It's sturdy. The straps feel good. I think it's good, guys. Well, let's style it up. Thank you so much for watching my video, especially if you watched to the end. This bag was also a delight to create. It was just an idea that I had, and it was so much fun to see it come to life. And I did end up tacking down the middle row of the poppets, and I did end up adding little charms. For my style up, I just accessorized it with a little tassel. It's not permanently affixed. It's just something that I quickly added for the sake of the style up. And as usual, I'll come in and get some really close-up shots so that you can see the details. I would love it if you could let me know what it is that you think about my bag. It's, like I said, the very first bucket style bag I've ever made. And here are my bags in sequence that I've made this month. 1, 2, 3, and now 4. So thank you so much for spending time with me and coming over. And until my next video, I'll see you next time. Bye.